Welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. I am your host, Snoogs, and joining me on deck tonight are my vigilant co-hosts, Lucas and Grejio, helping us through the top news and gaming stories from the week. So sit back, relax, and get ready for episode 306.
Whoa, this is the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast, the show with irreverent live listeners, raging hosts, and eventually conversation about the best and the worst of the video games industry. So, all that you're required to do now is to pick up your poison of choice. Expect the best, but prepare for the worst, and above all, enjoy the show.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in. Before we get started, welcome back, boys.
Oh, thanks, man. Happy
Thank
to be
you.
back. Feels like it's been
back.
a very, very long break.
It does, doesn't it? It's kind of been I know from my point of view, I kind of just went AWOL for a little while, switched the brain off, and was watching lots of bad shows on TV.
Yeah, I don't actually think I've spoken to you in 2 weeks.
No, to be close to that.
Oh, well, you've had a good break, haven't you?
How about yourself, Greg? Doing well, mate?
I'm kicking along.
Along?
Like you guys, I just switched off and do my own thing for 2 weeks. So yeah, it's a busy week ahead of me. That's for sure. Yeah, this time next week is my level up day. It was my son's level up day today.
All right, and welcome to everyone in the chat as well. We've got A10, Azrael, Martikins, Radicus, and the Wraith. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us as always. It's always the same names, which is great, isn't it?
G'day, guys. Thanks for coming back, and it was actually nice to see. It was funny a couple of times where I think it was the Wraith would get into the live chat ready to listen to the show, and someone would have to nudge him and go, hey, there's no show this week.
hey, there's no one there. Gets to 10 o'clock and he's like, where the fuck are these guys?
Remember, we record live 8:30 p.m. on Mondays every week, except for when we don't.
Yeah, except for when we decide not to.
We are all back together now.
All good stuff. All right, well, let's jump into the show. We've got a bit in store this week for everyone. We've got some stuff about Ubisoft Forward, which was earlier today, Devolver Land Expo, some thoughts and ideas on Dr. Disrespect, updates with Valorant, and as usual, there's been a few games that we can throw in there as well. So let's start the show, shall we, guys?
Let's do it.
All right, I still got one of my favourite segments, This Week in Gaming. And This Week in Gaming, we go back to 2010 to a release of probably one of the biggest games of gaming ever to be released. And that was, of course, Minecraft.
Oh, okay, yep.
Minecraft released on, I think it was the 7th of July, 2010. Of course, by Mojang Studios. And it has just been going from strength to strength ever since. And we've all played more than our fair share of it, haven't we?
Was it really 2010? Like the first
that's what it's telling me.
I feel like it was earlier than that.
No, well, it's telling me that the 2010 was the worldwide release where you could play it as the Minecraft version of it.
It might have been the non-early access version. Is that what we're talking about?
Okay, look, I'm looking at it here. Yeah, no, I don't think you're correct there, mate. I don't know where you've got your info from.
No, it's true, because the 10-year anniversary was celebrated on Minecraft this year.
Well, I've just done
had a big 10-year download.
Well, that might have been 10 years of a particular version, but the first version of Minecraft was released on May 17, 2009. The beta was released on December 20, 2010, and the full game was released on November 18, 2011.
Oh, this is...
I don't know what they're celebrating then.
Well, this has just got the... this is the browser. It must be the browser releases.
Browser? What the hell's a browser release? Stop Googling shit, Luke. You're fucking it.
All I know is that on my little Moby Games, where I get a lot of this stuff from for This Week in Gaming, it was still published by Mojang Specifications. That's what they were called originally, was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Because wasn't it originally Cavecraft as well, or something?
Oh, that's beyond my knowledge. Never heard of that before.
Way back when?
But anyway, it was over 10 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
That was good. Actually, I first got onto that game thanks to Remake, who got me onto that. And Minecraft actually ruined one of my holidays, because the weekend before that I was due to go away on a cruise, like a 10-day cruise, whatever it was, I got addicted to Minecraft so much that I bought it on my iPad and basically never left my room playing Minecraft. It was so lame.
Wow.
I know. Ruined.
That is pretty lame, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, I enjoyed it though. It was good. I went out every now and then and had dinner and stuff.
Like, I went and got food and shit.
Yeah, I went and got food and, the typical things to sustain life. And then
checked in where the wife was, yeah.
And then, like, because the food was quite rich and different to what I was used to, it made me feel a little bit sick in the stomach. So I had to go back to my room and lay down and play Minecraft.
You call it ruined holiday. Your wife called it failed second honeymoon.
But at the end of the day, that was a long time ago, and I've moved on since then and very rarely play the game because I'm kind of sick of it. But anyway.
Good stuff. All right, well, we've been off for 2 weeks, so let's have a bit of a chat about if we've been playing anything. So, Luke, you may as well take us ahead here. Fallout 76. You've jumped in and had a crack.
I have finally tried it now because it is available on Game Pass. So I booted up Fallout 76. Now, I wanted to play it on the PC. However, I didn't want to... I didn't want to play it on the Xbox. I wanted to play it on PC. The Wraith didn't get it downloaded on his PC in time, but he did have it installed on his Xbox. So I played it last night with him on the Xbox One X, and I've got to say, it does look nice. It's actually quite a nice looking game. And we were playing it, we were chatting to... we only played like the early stages of the game, and we were talking to the NPCs at the start of the game, sort of doing like a mission. And I think it was... the Wraith, because we eventually had Remake come join us and that. But I think one of them said, "Oh, this guy never used to be here." And then I remembered, oh, hang on, that's right. These NPCs were never in the game when it first started, was it? Because this is my first time playing Fallout 76. I never played it. And so those NPCs weren't there. And it just got me to thinking, wow, this would have been dead and boring to play on launch. But it just felt like Fallout, except you could play it in co-op with a friend. So I actually enjoyed it. I think we're going to play it a little bit more tonight and give it a bit more of a go. But I'm really looking forward to playing it on PC, because I was playing on the Xbox One X. It looks amazing. It's a good looking game, except for it's high resolution and the world looks good and the lighting's a little bit better, but essentially it still looks exactly the same as the previous Fallout, but it still just runs in 30 frames on the console. So I'm like, you know what, I can't wait to give this a good try on PC. And I think at the stage it's at right now, I think it's probably quite viable to play. And so
it's got that Fallout feel to it now.
Yeah.
That it did not have to begin with. And then you get to a point where I'm at in the game where you've got to start building a base, and I just go, this is shocking, because the base building mechanics that they had in Fallout 4, trying to utilize them on a controller was just horrendous. So I've just given up.
Yeah. Is that something you have to do?
You've got to start setting, like that's a big part of the game is building and creating your base. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, it's available now on Game Pass. So if you've got Game Pass Ultimate, you can play it on your PC or your Xbox now for no extra charge. It's definitely worth giving it a try if you did enjoy the previous ones. I don't know if it turns into a shit show and it's no good after the first sort of part, but it looks viable at the moment. There were other players in the world. We ran into some randoms, and I didn't know what to expect, because there was two of them. They looked like they must have been in a team, because they were both using like the emotives, like they were like icons above their head that were like saying, "Come with me." And I was like, oh, I'm like a massive noob here. Do I follow them? And do they want me to join them? Or are they Can they?
Yeah, totally.
Can they like kill me? I don't fully understand.
You totally followed them. It's only when they put the pig icon above your head that's when you get worried.
What's that? Oh, is that like you've got a pretty mouth?
Squeal like a pig, boy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But no, I didn't know, so I just started shooting at them.
So anyway, I just started blasting.
But I couldn't do any damage to them. Like I wasn't hurting them, and they weren't attacking me after I did that. So it was quite weird. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if there's like a honeymoon period at the start of the game where there's absolutely no griefing, or if you have to do something to initiate a fight. Because I've heard a lot of news and rumours and discussions over the course of its life, but I never really took any of it in because it didn't make much sense to me because I'd never played the game. So I wasn't sure. But anyway, I'm going to play a little bit more of it. I'll touch base again in a week or two and let you know what comes of it. But I wasn't turned off completely by what I experienced last night. So, yeah, but I probably still wouldn't have bought it to this day, but now it's on Game Pass, so it's there to try.
Very good. And just to clarify, I'm pretty sure you actually do have to opt in to fight someone.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, if you're just sitting there shooting someone, it won't be until they retaliate.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they didn't do that. I don't know. Maybe they knew I was a noob and had no idea what was going on. I ran away from them at that point after I started shooting at them. So I just ran and then pressed Alt F4 because I was doing something else.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I've started my 2020 Formula One campaign.
Yeah.
Is it cancelled?
Do you have to wear a mask at press conferences?
It might very well be cancelled. Formula One 2020. So it's only just recently released, and I've been lucky to be playing it for a little while now. And I've got to say, it feels exactly the same as Formula One 2016, Formula One 2017, and then 18 and 19 I didn't play, but it's very much the same. There's something about the Formula One games that I want to highlight. I find them very hard to just pick up and play. Like a lot of racing games where you can pick up and just jump in and race and be competitive and just enjoy a generic racing experience. You really can't do it with Formula One games. They are, Formula One, it is the pinnacle of racing. It's very, very technical and very challenging. But the game itself, like if you don't want to spend time doing qualifying and just get put in the field somewhere, if you get put towards the back, you will not win. It is so difficult to get through. It's
just like real life.
Yeah, exactly like real life. And that's the bit where I think they need to take a bit more, for those things where it is just a quick race, having the ability to have it a little bit more arcadey. The cars, the driving, the feeling of it is all still fine. But considering you're in this train and, you get a knock on the front wing, it's a 3-lap race. There's no point going into the pits to get it changed because it's only 3 laps. But you get this knock on the front wing and then you can't turn the car. You just understeers everywhere. It's just way too involved for what it needs to be for that casual racer.
But then I would suggest if you're looking for a casual racer, this is not the game for you.
No, 100%. But it could very well be because there is a lot of it. And I'm a fan of Formula One, but I'm not that much of a fan that I want to know all about the ins and outs of it. I enjoy having the speed. I enjoy, having the sense of the speed, having the technical advance like that you see on the cars, and it's got little things like you've got your DRS, you've got an overtake button, which gives you a bit of a boost. And I'm playing it with the steering wheel. All this stuff is very cool, but there's just it's way too simulation still.
But the problem I have with these Formula One games is going back quite a few years. I remember playing a game and somebody was watching, and I would crash on every corner. And I would be like, oh, these things just don't turn. Like, these things are rubbish. And the person that was watching me said, you do realise you're trying to take that corner at 150 kilometres an hour? And I said, no, I did not notice, because I feel like those games, and I don't know if they've changed over the years, but they struggle to give you the sense of actually how quick you're going. And I would brake, and get to what I would think without looking at my speedo, because you're concentrating on the apex of the corner, not looking at my speedo, not realizing that I'm still doing 150 because I feel like I'm doing the speed that I should be able to take the corner at, but really I'm actually going way too hot into corners and I would fling off. And that sort of turned me off them and I sort of got over them and never really got into them. The last Formula One game that I actually bought myself was Mario Andretti on the Game Boy, on the original Game Boy.
There you go.
I don't even know why I did that.
It does give you a good sense of speed. And when you get lucky enough to be able to get, somewhere without going into qualifying, you get put in the top 5, that's when it really sort of comes out, because you can get, from the takeoff, you can jump a couple of places, get up near the front, and if you get down in front, you can really start getting into a groove and really racing,
just like real life.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and that's when the game absolutely comes alive, and that sense of speed really is there, and the sense of acceleration. That side of it's really good, but yeah, when you just want to there's so much that goes on. So you go into a career, and you've got to talk to the media, and you've actually got to give them responses. All this stuff that's going on in the background before you even get into the car. And then once you get into the car, you've got to go through the setups. How do you want to do it? You go and do your qualifying when you've got people picking what sections of the track is your best sections that you can go for. Go and focus on doing this in this section of the track. And it's really quite in depth. And for those who are big F1 fans, it's a really good option for them. But when you just want to get on, I was streaming it the other night where I just wanted to go and race. I didn't want to have to think about everything else that you have to go through in regards to the career mode. So I just wanted to go and race, because that's, at the end of the day, it's a racing game, but it lacks that ability. And one thing that's a really bad point, the gloves on your hands, on the steering wheel, do not render in properly. You've got all this absolute beauty around you and unrendered gloves.
Fair enough.
Okay. The game sounds like shit.
Look, I think you saying it's too simulation-y is like saying Dark Souls is too punishy. It's all right if that's your opinion. You're allowed to have that opinion, but I don't think that's a fair statement to make about the game.
Oh, I think it's fair.
All right, well, let's save this argument for next time we're at our in-laws' house, eh?
Sure.
What?
Well, that's the only other conversations I could think of that I don't want to be part of. And this conversation would be slightly better than it.
All right. What have you done? Oh, look, Luke's been playing The Last of Us Part 2. Who would have thunk it?
Yes. All right, now I'm on to my 4th playthrough, because I have done my original playthrough, which was my... I don't think there's any other way to explain that. That was my first playthrough. Then I played it again with my wife. Okay, played through the entire thing so she could experience it. And then I went through and I did another playthrough and did a collectibles cleanup and popped the platinum trophy. So I have platinumed the game now. Nice. And now I have started my 4th playthrough on Survivor Plus difficulty. So the hardest possible difficulty that is available to date, because the patch has not come out yet with grounded mode, which will very likely be my 5th playthrough. And I am halfway through the game on Survivor Plus. And the one thing I got to say about playing this game on the hardest difficulty, if you don't want to play The Last of Us and you don't really enjoy it, it's too hard. It's stupid hard. But if you're like me and you absolutely adore the game and love the gameplay, love the stealth, love the way that you can play each and every section a different way. You can play it, one way one time and then try something different another. Or if the first way is not working for you, do it a different way. It's really fun to do. However, what I've got to say about this, it's actually too easy. It's a lot easier than the first game. There are a lot more things to pick up this time round. But look, I don't know. Maybe I'm comparing it to grounded mode on the first one, which I'm not playing this time around. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I'm halfway through. I find it a pretty cool achievement once I do finish it, and then grounded mode will come out in the next update. We got quite a few comments in the chat here about me having OCD and all that. Let me have a look through here. I've got Naughty Dog autism. Yeah, okay. I do have that's Tris. I do have that kind of. I do have that kind of attachment to this game, don't I? It's kind of not normal for me. I don't know. This is just something that clicks with me. I really enjoy stealth games, which you guys will know if you know me. I enjoy stealth games, and I really do love the intricate details of a game, and Last of Us has both of those things, so it's really good. What have I got? He plays more Last of Us than I have wanks, says Radicus. Although I do play The Last of Us quite a lot, that's not true. That's an exaggeration.
Yeah, totally. No one does anything more than you have wanks.
Radicus is that bad he gets glasses.
The Wraith, he says, I'll buy it when I can purchase a lawnmower for that grass. Yes, there's a lot of long grass. And the Wraith has, he was over yesterday and I was playing it a bit, showing him bits of the game. And he was blown away by how good the grass looks. And I said, yeah, it just makes you itchy looking at it, doesn't it? But no, you don't want to mow the grass though. The grass is very helpful in Survivor Plus. Probably, no, I'm not reading that. It makes the wife watching the playthrough a bit more spicy. Last of Us Stalker, Ellie Stalker Edition. All right, whatever. But anyway, I have been playing that and I'm loving it. There'll be more for me to come.
Awesome, mate. Well, some other stuff that I've been playing, I've been giving the Nintendo Switch a bit of a run. So I've been back playing Summer of Mara.
Yeah, because now your Joy-Cons work.
Yes, and the Joy-Cons work nicely. So playing, Summer of Mara, which is it's still just a nice, easy switch-off game.
Animal Crossing-like one, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
The 500 fetch quest simulator. So and it's literally just been I'm going to go to bed, but I don't really want to go to bed yet, so I'll play 20 minutes of this and put myself to sleep. Look, it's nice. It's got a nice little story. It rolls along and it's just doing its thing, so that's all right. The other thing I've been playing, Spongebob Squarepants on the Switch.
Who's a goofy goober now?
Yeah.
It's too
actually, I don't mind. Hey.
It's too much of a sim.
You can tell it's a remaster. That's even on the Switch, it feels clunky compared to other Switch games.
It's a remaster, is it?
Yeah, I believe the PS2.
Oh wow!
Game. Okay. But yeah, it's Battle for Bikini Bottom. Sorry, remake. There you go. Battle for Bikini Bottom remake. Still very clunky, and I think the best thing is that it's. I've just sort of played a little bit and got it started, then handed it off to my eldest, and she's been going absolutely nuts with it. So
yeah, probably more the intended audience too.
Probably yes. But I wanted to give it a crack. Oh my God!
That really does look like
Memory.
Bright Memory. You want me to talk about Bright Memory?
Yeah, what's Bright Memory, mate?
That doesn't ring any bells. You don't know what it is?
It kind of rings a bell, but then it kind of doesn't.
Remember the Inside Xbox, and they showed off that game that we were all like, "Oh, what is that? Is that like that looks like a new game from some studio?"
It ended up being that was the one that looked really good, but ended up being a mobile game or something.
It was originally a mobile game, but that was Bright Memory Infinite, which is coming to the Xbox Series X and probably the PlayStation 5. But I've actually played Bright Memory, which is not Bright Memory Infinite. It is a paid demo on Steam at the moment. So you pay, I think it was $12, and you've got it took me about half an hour to play through it. What it is that it is Bright Memory Infinite, but it's only a demo. And when Bright Memory Infinite launches, you get the full game. So I haven't really just paid for a demo. I've paid for early access to a small portion of the game. And this is the one that's just made by one person.
Mm-hmm.
Although, there's a little bit of liberties with that claim of one person. I'm guessing one person is developing it, but there's still plenty of people involved with like music and voice acting and all that sort of stuff. So a little bit of an embellishment there, but still, I guess, true in the main sense of it. The game is a little bit janky. It does feel like an indie game. But for what it is, if you take all things considered, it's actually pretty damn good. It kind of has a feel of a first-person Tomb Raider game, because the puzzles in it were very Tomb Raider-ish. But then the boss fights were very, it's Souls-like boss fights. Now, I'm not saying that it's as good and polished as a Souls game, but it's that kind of thing, where, you have this big, massive boss enemy who can take you out quite easily. Some of them have multiple forms, and it plays okay. It wasn't polished at all, which, I guess it probably wouldn't be at this stage, but it's promising that I think it'll be a decent game. I don't think it's going to blow anyone away when it finally launches, though. But it's available now. It's on Steam. So it's approximately $12 Australian. And if you're interested in giving it a go buy it, and you'll get the full version when Infinite releases.
All right. Greg, anything you want to add in? Or have you been putting a lot of hours just into Minecraft?
Well, I was going to say, while we've been away, Minecraft had the Nether update release. So we could talk about that.
Yeah, well, why not?
Yep. So all right. So we had the Nether update release, which was the update to all things Nether. And in short, I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. So there's now three new biomes added to the Nether, which is a warped forest, the Crimson Forest, and the Basalt Delta. The
Basalt Delta biome. Don't forget Soul Sand Valley.
Oh, and Soul Sand Valley, sorry. So technically 4. And it adds a whole bunch of obviously new blocks and features to the game. There's some new mobs, and some modified mobs. So there's the pigmen are no longer pigmen. They're called zombified piglins. We now have piglins, who are the non-zombified versions of what we've always had. These little fellas are like a weird, hostile but not hostile mob. Under certain circumstances, they will be one or the other, which is interesting. Adds a new mechanic to the game, and
actually makes gold have some sort of relevance to the game, doesn't it?
Gold has a lot of relevance to the game now. Before it was like just trash that you sort of collected and threw away, or you traded to the villagers for emeralds so you could then buy good shit. But now it's like there's actually a purpose to having a gold farm, and because you can get some pretty cool shit from the piglins while trading and bartering with them, and they have their own unique bartering system, which is you throw gold at them and then they throw shit back at you. So yeah. Look, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I like the new bricks, the blocks that they brought in. The blue fire is pretty cool.
And they're starting to do a lot of things where they're moving bedrock kind of towards Java. So there's been a lot of crossover between the two variances of it, which is good, because farms that didn't work before work now, and vice versa.
Yeah, so. They're sort of trying to drag the two together to bring a little bit more parity in both sides. Bedrock's becoming more Java, and Java's getting a few little bedrocky features.
All right. Cool. Well, let's leave that there, and I think that's it for games this week. Tell us what that sound is.
All right, let's do What's That Sound. All right, so do you guys know what's that sound is? Well, let's tell you. It is, we're going to play a sound. You're going to chuck it into the chat if you know what the sound is. If you're correct, then I'll probably tell you. If you're not correct, we'll find out next week. And for those listening at home after this is live recorded, then you can come across to our Discord channel and you can pop it in our podcast channel there, the whatever you call it, server. And if you're correct, then you're correct. Is there a prize? Yes, there is a prize. You'll probably get some sort of emoji added to your answer. That's the prize. And
a crisp high five.
I have been thinking about...
Well, Tris can't get a crisp high five because he's in like the land of the plague.
Oh, he can have a
elbow
digital,
five. A digital
elbow
one.
I have been thinking about an ultimate prize if we continue the what's that sound. If it's really sought after, then maybe whoever gets the most amount correct for the rest of the year might get a big prize at the end of the year or something like that. But I'll work on that. But for today, I just put one together, and we'll see what you guys think. So let's have a listen. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Who knows what's this sound?
Ooh.
Do you know what that is? Defender, Gallagher, nope. Zaxxon? What the hell is Zaxxon?
Wow, old school. Old school game. Yeah.
Colico Vision. No, that's not what it is.
Zaxxon was also on Amiga
Space
as well.
Invaders? No, that Fox dude.
Sorry, Com64.
I don't know what that Fox dude is, but it's definitely not that. I'll give you that much. Would you like to hear it again? Play it again. They're asking for it to be played again. All right, have a listen. What's that sound? Star something. Oh, Star Fox. That Fox dude. Star something. Star Fox. No, it's not Star Fox. Nope. Play it again, Sam.
See, it sounds familiar, but it sounds like a lot of things in my mind, but it goes on for too long.
No, it's not Pac-Man,
fades away.
Chris. No, well, what do you think that sound actually is? Like, you know, I know that's what I'm actually asking you guys for, but can you pick what that's... Without actually knowing what it is.
Oh, so you mean like, is it lasers? Is it someone dying?
Yeah, do you know...
Does it normally fade out, or is that just the way that it's been? You've cut it.
No, it normally fades out like this.
Okay. Is it? In my mind, I know it's not this, but it feels like this. You know, in Space Invaders, where you got the ship that goes across the top, and like the bonus ship, and it sort of comes in and it comes out. It feels like that kind of thing. That whole fade out thing.
It's not. Azrael says dying. She's the closest. Defender has that sound. No, well, it's not this one. Super Mario Mushroom on mushrooms. No. And the Wraith, Contra, no. Asteroids from A10, no. A lot of suggestions here. Wow, this one is left as center, I guess. It's not that easy. So one last time.
The Last of Us Part 1.
No. Last time. What's that sound? So, if you think you know what that sound is, then, as I said, go ahead into our Discord. The links to our Discord channel is in the description down below. And we'd love to have you. Don't just come in for the games. Stay a while. Stay forever. It's another game reference, isn't it? That might be a What's That Sound in the future. If you know what that is, keep that in mind. I'll bring it up maybe another time. There you go. The answer, A10, you'll find out next week. You know, that whole cliffhanger thing. All right. That's What's That Sound.
It's just like a Netflix series after 10 episodes. It doesn't end. That's
right. Impossible Mission. Well, okay. Keep that in mind, Radicus. That's not this week's sound.
All right, boys. Let's jump into some news. Devolver Land. Come on, we'll kick off with this game news thing you were talking about. Because it was the Devolver Expo today.
Yes, that's right. Now,
yesterday, sorry. Devolver Land Expo, the digital direct.
That's right. But what I didn't know until last night, Repremier and the Wraith were talking, and I missed what they said, but I knew it was kind of interesting. I made them repeat it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said the Devolver Land Expo on Steam. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, yeah, you can download this game, which is the Expo, because the Expo was cancelled. You can go and download this free game, and you can apparently walk around in the Expo and, you know, go and look at the new games that they're announcing and trailers and things like that. So I downloaded it, and I played it, and it is actually a pretty decent game. I don't know how long they spent putting this thing together, but it's way too polished for something that they've just gone, oh, Corona, cancelled, let's make a game. They had to have had this thing in the works for a while for maybe another reason, and then went, oh, perfect. So this thing's available now. It's free. You can download it on Steam, and play it on, if you've just got a half-decent gaming PC, go and give it a try. So basically, it starts off, it's a first-person game. You've got nothing with you. It's nighttime. You're at the front of an exhibition centre. You've got to try and get in. So after you work out a little bit of it's not really hard, but there's a little bit of a puzzle on how to get in, you get in. But then you find that there's security bots that are around. So you got to sneak around them. You find a weapon, you pick up a gun. The gun is actually a t-shirt gun. So it shoots t-shirts, those t-shirt guns that they use at the sports events and stuff. And,
the one that killed Maud.
Yes, that's right. So you do that, then there's a couple of puzzles using the t-shirt gun on how to get to the next area, and then you get into the actual exhibition hall, and it's literally an exhibition hall, but there are the security bots that are sort of floating around the area. So you got to avoid them. You can shoot them with a t-shirt and it'll knock them out sort of offline for a little bit. And then you can go around and you go into the first one that I saw was the carrion stand. And it was pretty bloody awesome, where you walk down the hallway, and at expos how they've got they make the walls sometimes look like the theme of the game.
Yeah, yep.
So you walk down this hallway and you see one of the security bots get taken by the alien from Carrion, from the game Carrion. If you don't know what Carrion is, you got to look it up. It's awesome, and it's coming to Game Pass this month. And you go into the Carrion stand, and it's all set out like the inside of Carrion, and there's a big TV screen. You walk up to it, and then the trailer plays with the talking over the top of it, just like a presentation, like you were watching E3 or something like that. It was pretty cool. And then when it finishes, you unlock achievements. You walk around. There's collectibles to pick up. The collectibles will unlock unannounced game stuff. Then you can go into other exhibitions. There's one for Fall Guys. And Fall Guys, this is a game that absolutely we need to play. So on another note that we were talking about Snoogs before the show, we're staying away from Battle Royales. Fall Guys, this is a Battle Royale game that we will play and we will love. Because think of party games as a Battle Royale. That's what.
Is this the one I linked you the other day on Twitter?
By the other day, do you mean like a month ago?
Half a week ago, a couple of days ago.
Sorry, if it is, I didn't see it because I haven't been on Twitter for.
You did, because you said this is awesome and a definite yes.
Oh, then I don't think it is.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. If it was, I've got a bad memory. But anyway, Fall Guys, it looks amazing. It's colourful. It looks kid-like, but it looks like good fun. 60 players, and it's all sort of like just little party games. And last person standing wins like a Battle Royale. But it's not your typical shooter or anything like that. It's all different things, You might need to go across like a balance beam or something. You can knock each other off. And it's all that kind of like on inflatable sort of jumping castle looking stages and things like that. It Fall Guys Battle Royale meets Takeshi's Castle.
I was going to say, I'm looking at it, it looks like Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, that's what that's, and you can play this Devolver Land Expo. You can go and check out the stand, kind of like you're there. It's pretty cool, and you can watch the trailer, and there's all little characters from the game inside, kind of like they're like mascots walking around in there, and you can knock them over and have a bit of fun with it as well. And it's the Fall Guys stand is actually like a big jumping castle thing. It seems like they've put so much effort into this. I don't understand how they could have punched it out so quickly. There's also another one for Serious Sam, same sort of get up. There's like statues all around the place, big screen showing the trailer and the presentation. There's also one for Shadow Warrior 3. Once again, same deal. You walk in there and it's all set up just like Shadow Warrior and all that. And you get to watch the trailer and the presentation. And there's collectibles in there as well. It's bloody excellent. There was a standout one there that I really am looking forward to as well, called Blight Bound, which it's a kind of a strange looking platformer dungeon crawler, but it looks really cool. I urge people go and check that one out. Try this Devolver Expo. I can't say that how great it is, because it was really cool. For a free experience, I would actually really love this to become the new E3. For people that can't go overseas, especially with Corona, but for people that just can't because it's expensive, it's a big... I would pay money for this. If they did, say, an E3 on a massive scale into a video game like this, I would pay money for that year in, year out, instead of a plane ticket and accommodation, food, entry, all of that stuff. I would pay money for a real fleshed out version of this to go and see all this stuff digitally. And then how good would it be if it was an online experience as well, where the screen not only just played the trailer, but if you went on there at specific times, it actually showed a live showing that was going on at an expo somewhere.
With other people in there with you at the same time.
Yeah, kind of like a hub world.
That's always one thing that I like about expos and whatnot, is because not only do you have your own expectations, but you get to experience it with everyone else.
Yeah, and you know, obviously there's going to be trolls, there's going to be arseholes, but you know, think of the people that you've met at expos. You could potentially meet these people online and have a chat with other people, because you might be standing there staring at the same thing, and you can just pop up a little chat to the person standing next to you. How good's this? Oh, yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. Did you know this? I saw this. And, you know, you can have a chat. I think this has got a lot of potential going forward now, especially at the moment. It's sort of topical because we literally can't go to anything like this and they've all been cancelled. But I'd love this to be a digital alternative. And the Wraith has put in the chat, I'd pay $60 for an E3 sized version of this. 100% I would too. I mean, you'd be paying more than that for a ticket to go there. I'd happily drop some cash into a digital version of an E3 exhibition thing, on a digital one. I think it's... I think I've made my point. You guys know that I really love this idea, and it has really planted a seed. I think you guys should all give it a try, and I really do hope that this catches on and becomes a thing. I'd love it.
Well, it sounds as though it's very Devolver Digital. So I watched. This is where I was thrown. I didn't realise there was a playable version, so to speak, behind it, because I've seen the video of the Devolver showcase.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels and it sounds very Devolver Digital.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They always go out of their way to do something weird, even at a real E3.
This Devolver Expo game ends quite well too. I'm not going to spoil it, but I wasn't expecting this from this kind of game for the ending. I was impressed. So it was cool. Even because I was playing it at the same time as the Wraith and Reprimere. We were just in a chat, but we we're all playing it on our own computers. And I finished it first because mine downloaded first. But I did mention it. I was like, oh yep, I've finished, and didn't say anything about the ending. And it was really interesting to hear when they got to the end. They were like, oh wow, this is cool. And obviously keeping your expectations in check. It's free, so don't go thinking that it's mind-blowingly amazing, but it was pretty cool for them to go to the extra effort to put that in at the end, and I thought it was really cool. So yeah, that was my experience with Devolverland Expo, free on Steam.
I'll have to give it a crack. Either of you boys played Valorant?
I played the training bit at the start, and then I just Alt F4 because I couldn't be stuffed playing that game.
Well, for those who don't know, or who wouldn't have seen it sort of blow up recently, Valorant is a free-to-play game from Riot, and apparently it's very much like CSGO. Does that sound fair? I've not played it because I just don't have an interest in it.
It's CSGO if it had a love child with... oh, damn, what's that game? The one where you've got all of the crazy characters, the Blizzard game. Is it Blizzard, I think?
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah. It's the love child of Overwatch and CSGO.
Okay. Well, it's free to play. And free to play games usually have, little things that you can spend money on to give yourself a bit of a different look, yeah?
Oh, they usually do, yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. How about a skin pack that costs $130?
Like a brand new foreskin.
You can look, Snoogs. Do you mind? Can I borrow $18,000 off you? There's a cool car that I want to buy. Is that all right? Can I borrow that off you?
Sure. Why not?
There's no
I have
harm.
$18,000 to spend on what's that crazy ass space game?
There's
Well, that's
no harm in asking, but if you're asking me, I'm going to tell you to go jump.
Yeah, you can ask. The answer's going to be no.
Yeah.
so. Well, this thing is called the Elder Flame skin pack. So these are a couple of different. So it's a full pack. So not obviously, if you buy them individually, they're not going to cost this much. You know, some of them start at about $7-8. This is all Australian dollars. But when you bundle it all together, it is actually it's probably closer to $140. It's $137 and change.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't think that's a problem.
I just come across this, and I know like there's still a lot of stuff going on, you know, in the world about microtransactions, and there's things keep popping up every few weeks. This one popped up at least in this. You know, it is all cosmetic. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
but they look sick. So, you know, it's called Elder Flame. It's pretty much you're turning things into like a dragon type look. So not only do you have a skin that you wear yourself, but specific guns, and it doesn't work on every gun. It's only specific ones actually look like you're running around with a moody dragon that's shooting fire and shit out of it. So it kind of looks cool, but it's still very expensive.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, look, whatever. There's probably a lot of games out there, if you bundled a whole bunch of shit together, would be super expensive too. But I don't know, like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
kind of like that. I'm not playing it. It's there if you want it. Go and have a look. Sony has been investing in Epic Games. I saw this today as well, Luke.
Yeah,
so
now
for more collaborations between the two.
Yeah, that's right. Now, look, this is probably what, you know, kind of spurred on the fact that when they Epic Games showed off their demo that they made for Unreal Engine 5, they claimed it was running on a PS5. Now, it's probably this in the background is probably reason there that they're sort of in each other's pocket at the moment. That Sony have invested $250 million into a small portion of Epic Games. So I've just got a little bit to read here. Epic Games is not only known as the developer of the wildly popular Fortnite, but also the owner of Epic Games Store. However, perhaps most beneficial to companies wanting to collaborate is with Epic Games is Unreal Engine, a powerful real-time 3D creation platform. Epic Games founder and CEO Tim Sweeney said in the same press release, "Together we strive to build an even more open and accessible digital ecosystem for all consumers and content creators alike." So this sounds a little bit like Sony are going to have a little bit of, Epic Games will have a little bit of favoritism when it comes to PlayStation 5. However, Sony they haven't bought Epic Games or anything like that. They've bought in on a small portion. So they're just a stakeholder, really. They're not going to be calling the shots, but they'll probably be able to influence quite heavily.
Does all the the Sony exclusives that are coming to PC, they're all coming via the Epic Game Store, aren't they?
Correct. They're not exclusive. They're not exclusive, but I do believe they start off there, and then they are slowly leaking across to Steam.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if they were an exclusive thing, because Xbox, they're mainly going through Game Pass and the Xbox
Store
app. So the Microsoft Store. But are they leaking onto Steam slowly after a certain amount of time as well?
They are starting to as well, because there was just that big thing not too long ago about Halo. Halo was launched on Steam recently as well. So they are starting to sort of bleed out into the other platforms. But yeah, I believe that now with this sort of little bit of hand in each other's pockets is going to have some sort of favoritism. So what that means for PlayStation 5 going forward is probably nothing major, but they probably may have a little bit of a leg up when it comes to development and maybe access to, I don't know, special resources for Unreal Engine. I'm only speculating at this point. I don't really know. But
it could be something as simple like let's face it, $250 million isn't really a lot of money, especially when you're talking someone like Epic. You know, $250 million is what they made on Saturday. It's not huge. So it could be something as simple as PlayStation Studios getting Unreal Engine 5, 12 months early.
That may be the case, things like that, or even just simple things like when they show off things, they will show them off on a PlayStation 5, not an Xbox Series X. I feel like that $250 million is more of a let's throw some marketing.
And do something.
Yeah, so when you've got to show something off, we want you to show it off on our shit, and we want you to tell everyone this is on a PS5. I feel like that's what that buy was. We're friends. Here's $250 million. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Just look after us, will you? So I feel like that's what it is. So I think going forward, we'll probably see a lot more chumminess between those two, and Xbox will probably have everything the same, but just in the shadows, I guess. I think this is Sony's sort of little attempt there to try and grab a little bit of an edge, but I don't know how much of an edge it's going to make any difference. I don't know. Don't think so.
Anything from your end, Greg?
No, mate.
No, all good.
No, all good.
All right, Luke, you've got here PlayStation exclusives breaking down.
Right. Well, this one kind of stems from that last bit where I was talking about Epic. But the point that I wanted to bring up about PlayStation exclusives, and this is probably one of the biggest argument points that PlayStation fanboys, and probably just general people in general, when they're talking about the reasons why the PlayStation is so successful, is because they have these massive big IPs, right? But I've just noticed that they're just starting to hemorrhage. These games are slowly leaking out. So I just took a couple of minutes and went and did a few searches on some what do you call them? Like on Steam and Epic Games, and Death Stranding. Okay, that was a big PlayStation exclusive launch, but that's coming to PC on the 15th, so in a couple of days.
Yep.
So that's going to be on PC and PlayStation. Horizon Zero Dawn, that's coming out on the 7th of August this year. I'm going to buy that on PC, mind you, because that game will blow me away on PC. It was great on the PlayStation. And Horizon Zero Dawn is probably that would probably be my top game for somebody who doesn't have a PlayStation. If they asked me, what should I play on the PlayStation 4 if I buy one? Horizon Zero Dawn would probably be number one. And the reason it's not the other games is because, The Last of Us is obviously, if I said that's just me being biased. But thinking about an experience for the first time, I think either Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War would be probably the ones that I would suggest. But Horizon, and that's not a PlayStation exclusive anymore. Well, it won't be come August this year. Detroit Become Human, although a little bit older now, but that's on PC now. Beyond Two Souls, PlayStation exclusive, is on PC now. Heavy Rain, all those kind of games from the same dev, they're all on PC now. These were all originally games that were PlayStation exclusive, never to see the light of day on any other platform. They're starting to come undone, where it might not be necessarily a negative thing for them, because I think Sony still own those games, and they're obviously going to make money on the sales, but you don't need a PlayStation for them anymore. And a lot of people as well, I've heard arguments about, why would I buy an Xbox? I can buy all their games on PC. Well, it's starting to slowly become that way for PlayStation. Like if these games start flowing, like I'll lose my mind the day they announce The Last of Us coming to PC. My head will explode. But if these big games start rolling off and going to PC, they're going to be in the same pond as the Xbox. And the best thing about that, how good is it for the gamers? That's great for us to have options. And look, if this slowly happens, then I think this could spell an eventual end for consoles, but or consoles as we know them now. But it was just something that I've noticed that and PlayStation have never really done before, or Sony have never really done before. But it's happening. So I thought that was interesting to bring up.
Cool. All right. Well, last bit of news. Ubisoft Forward went live at approximately 5 a.m. this morning in Australia.
I'm just going to stop you there. I want to stop you there. Splinter Cell was not on Ubisoft Forward. So you know what? Let's just fast forward and fucking ignore it. No fucking Splinter Cell? Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
And then they throw Sam Fisher in a mobile game. Yeah, in a mobile game.
Sam Fisher was in there. Come on. I saw that and I just went, oh no. Why today? Why did this have to come out today? Why couldn't it be tomorrow?
See, I was 100% pissed off with Ubisoft for this stupid thing that they called Ubisoft Forward, and then I managed to be only 99% pissed off. There was 1% knocked off for the sake they used Michael Ironside for the voice of Sam in that video, so I'll give them that much. 99% pissed off still. This Ubisoft Forward, horrible. You go. I'll let you continue now, and I'll let you know if there's any redeeming factors there. But as far as I'm concerned, the whole thing was a waste of time. Go ahead.
Right. Well, look, I'm kind of going to agree with you because Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I'm yet to see where it becomes an Assassin's Creed apart from the gameplay.
It's fucking not.
No. I normally forgive Assassin's Creed a lot of sins. Now this looks like a great game, but straight up this time, they're getting further and further away from an Assassin's Creed game. In my mind, I looked at this and I go, yeah, they're bringing back features from other Assassin's Creed games that they've slowly chipped away at and removed. They're putting it all back in, but the same. It's not. This would be an amazing Viking game. Just make it a Viking game and be done with it.
Yeah. Ubisoft, that's you can't just put a hoodie on a fucking Viking and give them a blade on their wrist and go, oh, it's Assassin's Creed now.
Yep.
But in saying that as well, what did you see gameplay-wise that was groundbreaking?
Like I said, they were putting stuff back in that they'd taken out from number 3, like the whole base building concept and all that shit. That was back in 3.
Oh, what a...
You can take cats on raids.
Has that got something to do with that crazy woman who puts cats in boats every game that she has level design in?
No, I think that was that was Legion.
Yeah, she does that, but I think if she had anything to do with this game, there's probably cats in boats in this one, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a waste of time unless you can sink that boat.
I saw that it had some gameplay elements from For Honor as well, but I had to stop myself at the very beginning because I was just pissing myself laughing as they were running around with the flaming arrows burning down the village.
Oh, yeah.
All I could picture was someone standing there going, every time they make a Robin Hood movie, our village gets burnt down. Leave us alone, Mel Brooks.
Actually, that's a very good summary for the whole Ubisoft Forward thing. It's literally we're taking games that we've already, the series that we have, and mashing them with other games that we've already made. So we've got Assassins for Honor, and we've got Far Cry Wildlands.
Yeah, well, very much like that. So look, it does look cool. I'm not a fan of Assassin's Creed only because of the style of the controls always threw me. But look, it looks cool, but I can't see where the assassins come into it. So I'll just leave that down. But it's got a release date, which is the 20th of November, I think it was.
No, that's the first release date.
That's the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to wait for the delay and then the possible next delay, and then we'll go with that. Because it hasn't been delayed yet, so let's not...
No, it hasn't, has it?
No, so once we get close to this release date, we should get possibly the actual release date. So yeah, we got to change our expectations now. So the first release date is a placeholder for the actual release date, which is 1 to 3 months after. So,
all right, so it'll be a Christmas exclusive.
Possibly.
All right.
Hyperspace. What do we think about that?
Shit. Hyperscape.
Oh, Hyperscape.
Yeah,
that was what it was.
I downloaded Hyperscape today.
Yeah, so did I.
And I played it and was actually playing, I think, my 4th round just when Luke and I started talking before the podcast tonight, and he got to be a bit privy to my rage.
I've never heard you rage like that. That actually felt like serious anger. Like, I've heard you crack the shits at a game before, and you're like, "Oh, fuck this stupid game." But this one, I actually thought something had gone wrong in your household.
Yeah,
I was concerned.
Like, shit, what's wrong? What's going on? I'm like, this stupid fucking game. I'm calling hacks already.
Turn it off.
So, answer me this question: is this a straight up battle royale game, or is this a game that has battle royale in it?
No.
So it's just straight up battle royale game.
It's Apex.
The preview.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not. Apex is so much better. And that's saying something because I don't like Apex. But the preview made it kind of feel like this. Yeah. You could go into this virtual world and then this was something that you could do in it. No, it's you jump in and the virtual world is literally one room that you can either go and watch news or go to a store or go to, go and play. And then it's just a battle royale game.
Yeah, right.
Like playing it, that's
disappointing. That's disappointing.
It runs around, like it's running on my PC half decently, but again, it's so unbalanced at the moment. It is only a beta though, but it's just another battle royale.
Yep, I played two games, died within the first the first game was in the first minute of landing. Mm-hmm. The second game, I managed to run around without a weapon for probably 5 minutes before getting killed. And I didn't actually rage at it. I alt F4'd out of that one before that happened. But look, if you still love a Battle Royale, then go nuts. It's free. It's an open beta at the moment on Uplay. You can go and download it. But for me, I'm staying away from that one. Until I can get my hands on the Fall Guys, I'm not playing Battle Royale.
Yeah, don't worry, Rafi. I'll come and have a crack with you, mate, and then I'll probably crack the shits in. So
yeah, that's thoroughly disappointing because that's not, like you said, that's not what the preview led you to believe. I thought they were actually going to do something interesting with Battle Royale, but they've clearly not.
Oh, well, maybe they are, but maybe the open beta is just the Battle Royale. But my experience with it was just a flat-out Battle Royale. I think it'll be a good one for people that enjoy those. I mean, the map looked amazing and massive.
Oh, look, it looks amazing. It's got a lot of verticality. It's, internal and external of buildings, jumping across roof, going into to underground areas. It's not a traditional, circle shrinking sort of thing. You've got sections of the map which are, if you kind of picture, like a digital segment, that will actually start to dematerialize.
There's like despawns areas. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how the map shrinks, and that's random. That changes every time around. So there's a lot of good ideas there, but at the end of the day, it's just another battle royale.
Yeah.
And it's going to be needed to be tweaked and changed. There's no Aussie servers at the moment. Whether there is later on, I don't know. But a lot of
my usual 4 ping was giving me a warning for connectivity. It's not fantastic at the moment, but early days for a beta. But yeah, it is just a battle royale.
Brawlhalla's coming to mobile.
Yay! Actually, one that's actually a cool game. But
I was going to say that looks genuinely like it's a good, polished, fun game.
It is. It's basically
Brawlhalla's a bit of fun.
Smash Brothers.
Been out forever. Yeah. Another one. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. This one gave me a bit of a Lucas effect. I thought it was out.
Yeah, well,
I had that with Watchdogs Legion, to be honest. I was like, isn't this game come out yet?
No, Elite Squad. I feel like that has been announced before, but we forgot all about it.
It was announced last year.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
it was announced last year because we had the same thing. The only Sam Fisher we saw was in a fucking mobile game.
Right, but what about last year when they announced a particular game and we've heard nothing of it since, and they didn't even mention it this year?
Skull and Bones.
Oh no, that one was many years ago. They've completely forgotten about that one. That's been shelved, I believe, not cancelled, but shelved.
They did mention that last year as well.
But
that's gone.
Oh, okay. Roller Champions was not mentioned.
We played that at the Ubi experience, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh well, we downloaded it as well. It was like a open beta for a short time as well. But
as well as Gods and Monsters and Rainbow Six Quarantine. There are a couple that they've previously mentioned that they've
forgotten all about.
Didn't this year.
but then they'll go ahead and they'll announce Far Cry 6 with no gameplay. But they won't. They'll ignore games that they've announced years ago, and obviously the ones that everybody's screaming about, like Splinter Cell, they will completely ignore. What the hell? Ubisoft is just a massive mess at the moment. Something that they specifically said they weren't going to address was their stupid bullying and harassment claims and a whole bunch of people getting the ass because apparently like they were really high up. One of the dudes that just got sacked, I don't have his name in front of me, but he was apparently the guy. If he said that game was good, then it got made. If he said it wasn't, then it got cancelled.
Yeah, he had way too much power.
Well, he's gone now, so there's a chance that whoever takes their position
Maxime Belland
may bring on a new Splinter Cell game because old mate was just a douchebag and didn't like stealth games or something like that. So there's hope yet for maybe a Splinter Cell game, even though I keep banging my head up against that same fucking brick wall asking for Splinter Cell. But
yeah, well, like you also said there, Far Cry 6, that's going to be a long way off.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
it had Giancarlo Esposito in it, so I was like, that's awesome.
Is that Gus?
Other than that, yeah, that's Gus.
That's a good start.
That's a good start, but can't be just that.
Well, no.
And like I said, it feels very Wildlands. Like it's like a Far Cry version of Wildlands.
Well, yeah, they say it's set in a kind of fictional place based on Cuba.
It's like Cuba. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Kind of like a fictional place, kind of like Bolivia.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I didn't like the last one. The gameplay was fine, but I didn't. For me, Far Cry has to be that Far Cry gameplay, which they bring every time, but it has to be coupled with like strong characters because that's what Far Cry is. Far Cry 3 just nailed it.
Good old Voss.
There's never been a better Far Cry than 3.
How about the internet when it blew up because the picture for Far Cry 6 leaked and the kid has
the same
a
scar.
notch, like a scar above his right eye, and same as Voss does from Far Cry 3. And everyone just went, oh my God, it's the Voss.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool, but I don't believe it is. But
well, he's got an iPod. I don't think it is.
He's got a what?
The kid in the trailer had an iPod.
Oh, did he?
Or an iPhone or something, yes. That's what he was listening to while he was making his...
Oh, okay, so he's too young. It's not set back enough.
No.
But as I was going to say before, Far Cry 4 was good. Pagan Min, I actually thought was quite good. Not as good as Voss.
Pagan had that different sort of craziness about him.
I liked Pagan.
Yeah, I liked it.
But then Far Cry 5, I just did not like the three siblings. I just like Joseph and all that sort of stuff. I didn't like the 3. I felt like because there was 3 of them, not one of them excelled. They sort of split the interest between the 3 of them, and they were all kind of a bit plain. Whereas if they just have one fucking lunatic, they can concentrate on that, and it'll come across better. So I'm not writing off Far Cry 6, but at the same time, I'm probably not going to hold my breath either.
Yeah, well, that's coming out in February, so we'll see what happens there.
The biggest one that I am looking forward to is Watchdogs Legion, but because I'm a Watchdogs fan, I absolutely loved the first one, and I absolutely loved the second one. The problem that I have with Watchdogs Legion is I feel that it is too ambitious for its own good. And I'm not saying that this isn't going to be good, but I just feel like, you know how NPCs, you play a game, right, where you play as a character, say Tomb Raider. None of the NPCs ever look as detailed and polished as Lara, right? Because that's the person who's on screen all the time. So they put the most effort and time and resources into that character. Whereas in Watchdog Legion, you can play any person that is in the game, you can play as them. So I just feel like the actual graphical fidelity of the character models and the animation sets are going to be heavily limited because they don't know who you're going to play as. because it could be anyone. So I just feel like you're going to look like it'll feel and look like you're just playing an NPC character that's playable for some reason. That's just my takeaway from the visuals of it. Now, I'm sure it's going to look great, but I just don't know about how good it's going to play and feel. So,
yeah, and how the animations will play.
I guess that's kind of the joy of, you'll end up having your characters and they'll wear their masks and all that jazz. So there might be an element where once you start customizing your characters, that's where they put that fidelity. So essentially you're dressing up your NPC, and that's where they can sort of hide that.
Yeah, see, I like that idea about with having a mask on. Wraith is in the chat saying, but you'll have a mask on. I like that. That's pretty cool. You put on a mask and they're sort of anonymous. But then it comes down to the animations. You're going to be playing as people of different ages. I've seen that there's a killer granny, as Radicus has put in the chat. Is that killer granny going to have the same running animation as a 30-year-old, 25-year-old kid or adult or whatever? Or are they going to have completely different animations for each? Or, or you might have an athletic...
They'll just have groupings. They have groupings.
But that's what I mean. Like, am I going to go from character to character to character to have the exact fight animation, the exact same...
I reckon there's a possibility you will.
I think you'll have classes. It'll be a class system. And you'll have animations for set classes.
That'll break immersion for me, because I'll be like, this person's a completely different person, yet they do the exact same punch or something,
Yeah.
Well, I think Greg's onto something with the classes there. You've got sort of people that are tech experts, like they showed off in the gameplay. The one who was the drone expert, and they had stealth ways to do things. Then you had the worker who was very heavy-handed. Then you had the drunk, which was just a brawler. Seems to be. But that's the
thing. Like, am I gonna get are there gonna be like hundreds of drone experts? And are there gonna be like heaps of just?
I think
like all the different classes, are there just going to be heaps of them? Like when you're like in Grand Theft Auto and you get one car and then all of a sudden every single car is
they
that.
All show up.
They all show up. Is it going to be like that, Like, I'm going to switch over to this person. Oh, my God, it's exactly the same.
There could also be this element that they're being a little bit tricky in the wording and how they describe that you can play as anyone. There might be a situation where you're creating your resistance group, but you only need one of each class. So you pick your killer granny, for instance. You don't need another killer granny after that, or another person in that class. Yeah. So they really only have to worry about modeling each class, because you'll only play one of each.
Yeah, maybe.
And then they'll sort of do that instead of this whole. But I think you can just play as anyone.
I think there's permadeath in this game too. So if your character dies, they're dead. Yep. They're gone. There's no respawns. You start as somebody else. Look, it's too early to really tell without playing the game. But I am, as a big Watchdogs fan, I've platinumed them both on the PlayStation. Love them. I even bought the statue edition for Watchdogs 2 because of how much I enjoyed the first one. But it's just I'm not seeing it from the third one, so I'm going to go into it open mind. I'm not the type of person who'll go in and go, all right, I'm not expecting much from this and then bag the shit out of everything. I will obviously be fair with it, and if I love it, I'll love it. But I don't know.
I think you'd be wise to sort of limit your expectations of, especially when any game sort of decides to do a big change up and change a big component of their game. There's always that susceptibility of it being, it's not quite the same, or it's nice try, didn't quite hit the mark. That there's always that chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it may end up being a big mess, but time will tell, and I'm definitely going to give it a try because I do like the series.
Cool. It's one. It's a series. I got into the first one. I played that and enjoyed it. The second one, I think there was just too much else going on at the same time that I never actually got to sit down and get stuck into it. So I kind of lost it. But we got it for watching today at any time because they crashed this morning.
Yeah, the Watchdogs 2 giveaway.
Yes, the Watchdogs 2 giveaway.
Because it was meant to be in a short window, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was supposed to be part of the drops if you were watching it on Twitch, and you had to have your Twitch account linked with your Ubi account. And what happened is the Ubisoft website crashed because of so many people trying to get in and get it.
Of course. Yeah.
So they put it in. You could register it, and then over time it'll come in. Over in the chat, the Wraith will it be an upgrade for Series X? Apparently so. Apparently it's got that free upgrade ability for both the Series X and the PS5. So should be good. All right, boys. Anything else you want to throw into news tonight?
Nah, that's it, man.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up and get into some last words, shall we?
Yep.
So before we go to our full last words, quick shout out again to A10, Az, Martikins, Radicus, The Wraith, and Triss. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you, people.
And thanks for hanging out with us on our first one back after a bit of a break. So I hope it hasn't been
they came back.
too disjointed. They came back. Oh my goodness. All right. Some action. We've actually got some last words this week. Who would have thunk it? We've actually put some forward thought into this. Dr. Disrespect has been permanently banned from Twitch, and there is zero zip zilch nada information about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Now, this is, how long ago was this? A week or two ago?
Yeah, I think it's coming up to 2 weeks ago now.
And I've not heard anything about it other than what happened in the first, couple of days. I haven't heard anything since.
No, there was rumours that he was talking to other streamers for a new service that was supposed to be like a Spotify streaming service that was coming up. Obviously, as we went on break last time, there was an absolute shitstorm going through the gaming community, or the gaming world really, in regards to allegations of sexual abuse and harassment and just all the crap that goes on that was coming out then. There was a lot of those things. I've heard that because he came out and admitted to having an affair that started via an official Twitch event, they used that to get out of this $20 million contract that they had with the doctor, because they signed him up so that he wouldn't go over to Mixer, but then Mixer stopped and cancelled, so they just cancelled the contract and used that as like a scapegoat thing.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
There's been a lot really going on, and the fact that it's just gone so quiet,
yeah. Skrill says, I thought it was because he's a tosser.
If the internet has proven anything, that is not a reason to cancel someone.
Yeah, that put him on a pedestal, if that's the case.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm still on this show.
Yeah, so have you got any theories on it?
Nah, look, I don't know. I've heard all of the ones that have come out, and the one that, not that the story sounds the most likely, but the way in which the story came out, I think, is probably the most likely, and that's the one where, they wanted to get out of the contract because Mixer bit the dust. They no longer needed to pay him off to stop Mixer getting him. They no longer need him because Mixer doesn't exist anymore. So they've just they just probably went through a whole bunch of his footage, found something that was against terms of service, and just said, right, you did this on this date, you're out. Save themselves $20 million for nothing. I think that's probably most likely. And yeah, he probably will go to another service. But I just think it's really strange that we still haven't had any sort of resolution just yet.
Well, funnily enough, I actually bumped into a mate who on Discord is actually Roscoe. I bumped into him on the weekend, and he goes, "Have you heard anything?" I'm like, "No, I've only heard the usual bullshit." He's like, "Oh, I thought if someone had heard something, you guys would have heard something by now. You just waiting to talk about it on Monday."
No, it's
nothing.
Nobody's putting in the chat either, so I don't think either anyone cares or they don't know.
Yeah. What about yourself, Gretch?
Nah. Quite honestly, I don't give a shit.
See, I don't watch him. I don't care either. The thing that makes me intrigued is just the mystery. I want to know what happened.
Yeah, I was never really a big fan of his to begin with. He's really not my style.
No.
So I was just like, oh well, it's another one, and another one bites the dust. So, and look, in this day and age, people get cancelled for stupid reasons on a daily basis. It's insane. Some of the inane bullshit that goes on
screen.
Yeah, look, and sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. But I know that my understanding of it is it's never measured. It's never well thought out. It's never take a deep breath, count to 10, and then make a rational decision. An informed, rational decision. It's always knee jerk. So I kind of just let it go these days. It's not worth my brain power, to be quite frank.
Well, the real bit that it's kind of got this mystery around it, right? And that's why I think so many people, and that's why we're talking about it now. It has this mystery around it. So and I'm not a fan. I'll occasionally watch some YouTube videos or whatnot from him, but of late, especially, with all the he's a decent gamer. He knows his way around a game, but of late with Call of Duty, especially, he was just every bit of footage I saw was just him bitching and carrying on about how the game was. Instead of playing to the meta and playing the game, he was bitching at wanting it to be changed to his version of it.
Oh, look, but I think he's above average. I don't think he's fantastic anymore. Like he was great at PUBG, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think the biggest thing of mystery around it is how his last stream went.
Yeah.
So his last stream, for anyone that hasn't seen it, was very disjointed. It was not his usual style, and it ended up with him saying we'll get through this. Looking at his phone, you can hear something smashing in the background, which all these people think it was a door because he was being raided, and then the stream just cuts out. It's and then we've he's since been disconnected, and we've heard nothing. But apparently he's shown up in other people's streams and donated to them. But who knows how real that is too. It's all very intriguing, yeah.
Oh well, we'll follow it anyway. If we hear anything else, we'll talk about it.
Exactly, and if anyone hears anything and likes or has any theories, just let us know.
Yes, come to our Discord and let us know. Thanks, guys.
All right. Some other bits and pieces. Aussie Gamers TV and Snoogavision over on Twitch, and Grejio XBL on Instagram. Don't forget to come and hit us up. And that is it. Anything else you've got, boys? Or should we close it up?
No, that's all for me. Yeah, that's all I got.
Good. Beautiful. Thank you very much to everyone that's listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. Don't forget to continue any of the topics we've discussed on the show over in our Discord channel, or hit us up via the socials. And while you're at it, hit up our website, www.theagexp.com. Links, as always, are in the podcast show notes and descriptions, wherever they're found. That's all from me. As always, I have been Snoogs.
I've been Lucas.
And I have been Grejio.
And Radicus is starting his penis pump. Have a good one, people!
Bye-bye, dude! Ooh, once again, we have reached the end of another week in gaming, and if you've listened all the way up until this point of the show, then there's a good chance that you're a perfect fit for the AgeXP Discord channel, and you can join by using the links in the show description. Once you've joined, you will find yourself within a community of amazing people who are all interested in one thing, and that's gaming. You can also join in live while we record the show and have your say. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you'll be notified when the next episode is available for your listening pleasure. Until next time, take care, be safe, and keep on gaming.